I've got 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order today, Monday, November 18th, 2024. Roll call. There's a slim roll call here. We have Eric Eaton, Kevin Buck, myself, Jamie Thurlow, Town Manager Jesse Dunbar, Town Clerk Sarah Abbott. And Howdy and Mackenzie have called out tonight.
Make a motion to excuse Howdy Goodwin and Mackenzie Jewett from tonight's meeting.
So, it's been moved and seconded to recuse Howdy Goodwin and Mackenzie Jewett from tonight's meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Adoption of agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change on the agenda? All right. Approval of minutes. We have the minutes from October 21st.
A motion to approve the minutes from October 21st, 2024.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from October 21st, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Approval of warrants. We have warrant 42 for $14,615.94, 43 for $2,745.67, 44 for $195,368.01, 45 for $14,926.03, 46 for $14,888.34, and 47 for $152,750.54.
Make a motion to approve warrants 42 through 47.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 42 through 47. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Next, we have regular business. First thing we have is an administrative official appointment. We have Angie Chamberlain for our new CEO.
Yes, Angie's here tonight, for those that don't know her, but we are thrilled to have her joining us here in Tremont to do code enforcement and LPI, and she'll be doing it full-time per her previous decision to hire a full-time code officer. So, we're looking forward to it.
Okay.
She'll start January 6th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And was,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Was it just one afternoon for Trenton and still 40 hours here, or yeah, cool?
Good.
You excited?
Yes.
Little less of a headache maybe?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different pace.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't jinx this. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. I motion to confirm the appointment of Angie Chamberlain as Code Enforcement Officer, LPI, and 911 Addressing Officer.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the appointment of Angie Chamberlain as Code Enforcement Officer, LPI, and 911 Addressing Officer. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck out there.
Next, we have law enforcement update. Jesse, do you want to take this one to start, or this is just a general update from Silver Harbor Police Department since they have started service July 1st?
Yeah, so they started, July 1st, they haven't, the chief hasn't been here to address the board since starting, so just to give you an update on how it's going, if you have any questions, they've had some staff changes and schedule changes since starting, so just to go over any of that, if you have any questions, and just get an update from you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Okay. In your packet, I just typed up a basic numbers report, because people like numbers, but really the surprise for me, as far as, and I mentioned this with Jesse when we were talking, was that our number of calls were, law enforcement calls were higher than we really had anticipated. And I think that's a good thing. In that, overall general public opinion is it was much easier to contact us for questions. And, we come out to the house or whatever, a lot of them, turn out to be, civil kind of in nature, just asking us questions and we're pointing them in the right direction. We have had, two specific calls where, the officer that was covering, and I'll get into this on the shift part of it, two particular calls. One was this weekend and one was a couple months ago where they needed an additional officer, and I came down from Ellsworth to cover the system in that. Both of those situations turned out to be resolved a lot easier than we had anticipated. There was no arrest in those two calls, but the people that we were dealing with presented that as a possibility. So it kind of segues into what we had, what Jesse had mentioned as far as our schedule change. With the staffing changes at the department, the officers kind of, we sat down and we had just a chat session, said, how do you wanna cover this? How do you wanna do it? I'm gonna tell you, we need to cover 24/7, how do you guys wanna do this? And they came up with a very interesting 24-hour shift schedule that they are working. Right now I have one individual that's in the academy, so he's out of that move, but between the three of us that are now working, we cover the 24/7. So there's always an officer on duty here in the area. And to sort of fill in that, or answer some of the questions, the officers are given the opportunity to take like 6 hours of rest, when it's quiet in the middle of the night, with the understanding that if a call comes in, they have to get it, they have to go respond to the
Yep.
call. If it's so busy that they're not able to take a break or whatever, they call me and I'll come in, but then they that has not happened yet. With the other officer not being a certified, or he's not academy graduate yet, so he can't, there are certain calls that he cannot respond to, and in our policy, because of his status, a full-time graduate has to respond to those two calls. So one of these high-speed chases, we wouldn't do that here on the island. And the other is a serious personal injury accident. They can't cover that alone, so we have to do it. So with that particular individual, when he's working, either myself or Sergeant Blaney are covering. So work available if those for him. And I asked the guys how they like the schedule. Number one, they picked it, they like it. They're not being told what to work, they chose it. Sergeant Blakey really likes, and he's been public about it in the paper, but he really likes it, that it gives him the opportunity to work the case from beginning to end, really, and get that taken care of for the person that called in and did the complaint, instead of them, having to wait 2 or 3 days before they talk to the officer again. Officer Russell loves it. He's just starting his career in law enforcement, and he's heard all of this stuff about 50, 60, 70 hours a week on these 8-hour blocks that just burn people out. And so now he's working sort of a reduced amount of overtime because we don't want him to get burned out before he goes to the academy. So in January, he'll be going to the academy. In December, Officer Komorski will be graduating the academy, so he'll be back, and so there'll be 4 of us for the month of December, and then into January. takes quite a bit of time, so we're probably looking at January before we're able to bring him on. As far as the officers go, they love the schedule, they're excited to work it, they enjoy it. They enjoy having a bigger area to patrol. And again, almost all of our complaints are tied, you know, either the complainant or the victim or however it goes. So they like it. Internally, we're all very positive about it. And I guess that's really kind of where we're at. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have for questions, if there's stuff that you want us to look at or change or do or anything at, you know, at this point in time.
Mhm.
You know, I'd really like to hear
Okay.
what you've got.
Can I set for questions?
I don't have anything for you. I think it's doing your job. That's what we ask. That's good.
Is this, I guess I don't know the details of the 24-hour shift. It sounds like it's really tough to maintain, but it sounds like this is like sustainable long-term.
Well, they have what they would like to do is if we're able to fill the two positions that we currently have, that allows them to work two 24-hour shifts. So they come in like Monday morning at 7, and then they go home at Tuesday morning at 7. Work that, they have 2 or 3 days off, work the other one, and they have all the other time in between that's off. It does schedule in kind of, right now, if you sit and do the math and you plug it all in, there's 8 hours of overtime that they're kind of getting automatically on that. But if we rotate the starting times based on my schedule, where my schedule is supposed to sort of stay constant, it gives them, you know, we can play with that, or it gives us, when, kind of the way it was designed was that Wednesdays would be our training days. So each officer would work, their 8+ hours would be on Wednesday. So that we'd have all 3 officers there, or all 4 officers there, and we can do that. Training and not incurring anything over on overtime budget. There are other departments that are doing this schedule, and everybody that has tried it, once they get over the thing in their head about it, they actually like it. It's an awful lot better than working 8 hours and, you know, having 16 off, or working 16 and having 8 off and doing that for 5 days a week. It just brings a different perspective. And honestly, I do not like it. I don't even know that I wanna try it. That's me, I'm too old to learn the new schedule. That's the way I look at it. I work the 12s, so I will split their shifts for them. So, like today is a 12-hour shift for me, so I work 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Gives them, you know, a full break in between. And right now I'm working Mondays and Fridays. And you know, it also makes me available to the general public during off business hours.
So you think this will probably, even if you get fully staffed, you'll probably stay with this schedule pretty much?
I think they wanna stay with it.
Yeah.
If that is the end choice,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I can tell them what they're working,
Yeah.
but it's easier for me, and the morale is much better if they pick something that they like. But, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know personally that's the biggest thing. I know you're having trouble staffing it and just idea of burning people out. I mean, I know a lot of businesses have been doing that just for lack of being able to staff it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's,
And to be honest with you, the people that have called me, inquiring about, filling out applications, that is why they call. You know, they're like, well, how many shifts do you work? I said, you work 2 24-hour shifts. You know, right now, what days you work is kind of given to seniority, but that leaves you 5 other days to do whatever you wanna do. So, that's what is important to do.
Any other
No,
questions?
that's pretty much what I
I
got.
think the only concern that I've had, was brought to me was just the staffing for the Oktoberfest. I know that was I had trouble just getting someone to come for that.
Yeah, and part of that was that I was out of town.
Mhm.
I was in a position where I couldn't be here. Brad was scheduled to work, you know, and, whether it was politically correct or incorrect, I called the sheriff's, I had a conversation with the lieutenant up at the sheriff's office,
Mhm.
said, if you guys wanna cover it, I'm all for it, it's no
Yeah.
skin
Yeah.
off my chin, pride-wise,
Mhm.
people want the coverage, they deserve the coverage.
Yep.
And that was a situation where I physically wasn't able, to cover it.
Yep. Yep.
I think, I guess that is a possibility, it's a possibility in both towns.
Mhm.
I don't,
No, that's
no,
I know I signed this morning.
I just don't know. I left it on in case dispatch, cause.
Yeah. Jesse, you have anything, or? No, okay.
I've got a question.
Yep.
So, maybe there is a way of, doing something publicly, looking for some public input, whether through mailing or a post or something, so that you receive some direct input, from the community, where you're soliciting, asking for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we maybe go over, don't filter it, just,
Yeah.
go over it, and give me the opportunity to, make some changes or address some things that maybe people aren't wanting to talk about.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know
Can you
how-
do that on
you
the
guys-
town website, like a
Yeah.
suggestion thing or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, well, if anybody else have any questions or comments? All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully stuff continues to go smoothly.
Yeah, and we can schedule, Jesse and I can schedule another, update before the election, before you guys need to make some decisions or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
What are you giggling about?
Yeah. Next, we have subdivision amendments. We have Pete Madeira here that will speak on behalf of the group, the Friends of Tremont and Locust Point. We're hopefully trying to work around having to go to a petition and trying to, yeah, I'll let you explain from there, I guess, Pete.
Jamie, you're stealing my thunder.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as you know, there was a petition circulated, to request a moratorium on subdivisions. After meeting with Mark Good this afternoon, we think we have a workaround, and what we're gonna do, well, first of all, we got a sufficient number of, signatures, as Sarah knows, she had to validate each one. And, so that is in her hands now and hasn't been submitted to you as the select board. But in working with Mark, it looks like we have a workaround. We have half a dozen specific issues in the ordinances, the two ordinances, that we're going to, submit to John in advance of Angie, to take a look at and see if he can help figure out how they work into the land use ordinance and the subdivision ordinance. So, The good news is it's a win-win, I think, because instead of having a moratorium for 6 months, we now have a process where perhaps changes can be brought to the town at town meeting in less than 6 months. So unless you want to hear some of the gory details, which I would suggest you don't.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know any of them.
I don't either, so I'm kinda curious here.
yeah, it's I mean it's minutia in the land use ordinance.
That's what everyone says, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Yeah. So
Okay.
No, and I think this is definitely, it's not our forte to be dealing with land use stuff. I think, yeah, it's a great idea if you guys can, go to the planning board, bring your ideas there, and hopefully can work through, a lot of the stuff and prevent having
my
to,
understanding is our first meeting with the planning board is December 10th, so it's coming right up.
yep,
Yeah.
it's good. Would it be a good idea, Jesse, to have Noel assist with, I mean, he's done so well with all of our other stuff. Have him assist the planning board, any questions they may have, and that helps keep it on track a little bit, keep it,
Yep.
he can,
Yeah,
I know he's dealt with this through all the towns, so it's just,
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt to have him attend, especially the first meeting.
yeah. And then if they need him from there, I mean, just, yeah, however they move forward. Yeah, sounds good.
Great. Thank you
Seems
very
like
much.
a good way to go about it. Thanks, Pete.
Look forward to working with you.
What would you like from us for, motion, Jesse?
I don't think I would need one.
Okay.
I'll just love to have John off the plan, you know, that you discussed. Didn't have any objections.
No, I think it's a great idea. Anytime that everybody can sit down and try to figure things out without having to go through petitions and that, just go through the right channels, and I think, yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. Okay?
I don't know what we're talking about anyways, fine.
No, okay, yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
All right, any more on that? Okay, next we have public safety building funding. And that is for me to explain because everybody had I think everyone that's on there was at a, meeting for the ambulance service tonight, so they said they wouldn't be making it. Basically, working through picking out a site for, the possible new safety building. One of the first things, Roger St. Amand is on that committee with us, and it's just enough money to set aside so that we can have him lay stuff out, make sure it's gonna fit, make sure there's no issues with putting a septic in or whatever else. And I asked him roughly how much, just as a ballpark, but he kind of was very vague, so I was like, should we just plan on putting like 15,000 in, and then that way it doesn't slow us down, we can just pull from it as we need. And he thought that that would cover the land engineering cost in good shape, like that would be more than enough. So it's just, I think we made, the first meeting that I went to, we made a lot of headway. I think everyone on there has a lot of great ideas, very similar ideas, and I think, yeah, it's just gonna come down to, hopefully, the next meeting, which is this Wednesday, is like everybody puts their stamp of approval on the building site, and then from there, we need to have someone take a look at it and make sure that it physically can fit there and there's no other obstacles that we're not seeing.
You are talking right here.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Is there any other site?
I mean, there's been ideas of a few
Okay.
different sites. We, it seems like especially I know the ambulance service mentioned that if they were ever to house over here, that this location is almost the best location versus Southwest Harbor even. This is the center of, if you're gonna go to the outreaches of Tremont and the outreaches of Southwest Harbor, this is a very central location, so I think that seems like it fits it's a tight spot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
other than it being a tight spot, it seems like location is perfect.
And it's in your memo, but as of today, the public safety building reserve that the town's been saving for a couple of years currently has $276,203.
And I don't know how you would set this aside, but I just wanted to, we all
We
thought
wouldn't have to physically move it,
No, just
authorize.
authorize it so that as we need it, then it would be up
Yep.
to 15,000 of expense on it.
And that's going towards some of the design process, you said.
Yeah, it's just gonna be land, like your
Site
septic
layout.
design and your, just literal, like a site design at this point, just to be sure, it fits. That's the biggest thing, that it fits and everybody, we need physical stakes up there and make sure everybody's happy with it and,
Septic.
Yep. Yep.
Sounds good. 15,
yeah, I think 15 is more than enough.
good with that, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That seems reasonable.
Motion to authorize using up to $15,000 from the public safety building reserve for planning purposes for the future building.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize using up to $15,000 for the public safety building reserve for planning purposes for the future building. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, and I'll bring back to the next meeting how our meeting goes on Wednesday, but
Yeah.
seem to be making some pretty good progress and some really good ideas. All right, next we have Wharf Garage lease.
So there's,
Jesse.
a draft lease in your packet. You had previously approved through the budget process, discontinuing the lease of the work garage, so the town could utilize the garage, for float repairs, bulk storage repairs, most of which will take place during the winter months. And DNR Bate, who leases the garage, expressed interest in continuing the lease, and we came to the arrangement that they always use it in the summer, and we would like to use it in the winter. And so they were good with, leasing it from us, from April 1st through October 31st, and the town would have it November 1st through March 31st. This would put $7,000, back into the work fund, where we removed the 12 in the budget. So everybody seems to be in agreement that it'll work well for all parties. And, part of the agreement is that they, clean out the garage by November 1st, with satisfaction of the town. I can report that they did do that this fall, because we were on track to take over anyways, and they did remove what Tyler, requested to be cleaned up and removed, by the 1st of November this year. I think they had one 4 foot, but they didn't have it started up.
But overall, it was,
Yeah, overall,
Tidy.
everything was left the way that we wanted
Good.
it. So, as of now, there's no concerns about, the year changeover. So, I think it's a win-win for all parties. And I'm sure the wharf users will be happy to have an additional $7,000 for that in
Yeah.
the budget.
I haven't been in there in a long time, but is there any way that in the future, maybe we can make it easier to keep it cleaner for, going from bait to our crew working in it back and forth?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we're gonna do some updates and changes to it as we go, and we'll see. They didn't really do much bait storage
that's what I know Dan has expressed before, that it was questionable if he was going to renew the lease. So that's good. That should help him as well, doing it for half the year and then,
Right.
you know, in the prime time. But most of the time, John's, they usually just keep frozen bait down there, is all it is. So it's just boxes for, so they don't make much of a mess or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that seems like, as long as it works for everyone, then
Yeah.
it's good.
Make a motion to authorize the town manager to renew the wharf garage lease with DNR Bait as a 7-month lease at a rent of $1,000 per month.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to renew the wharf garage lease with DNR Bait as a 7-month lease with a rate of $1,000 per month. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have Seal Cove Ramp. The long and the short of it is our stash of ramp planks that everybody thought would be so great were not the right size. Right, Eric?
Yeah, they're a couple feet too long.
Yeah.
How long are they?
They're 12s and we needed 10s,
Yeah.
and the brackets don't line up, so
Yeah.
you can't even cut them down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
that
what we
wouldn't
were
be fun
thinking
anyway.
Yeah.
after we lugged them down. So yeah, and the new ones come with the stainless brackets,
Yep.
which is nice. And the only reason that we're at the quantity of 30 is because when we were taking out some of the ones that we thought that we were going to be able to reuse, the brackets broke off of them. So there's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
chance that's going to happen the rest of the way, because we started at the top of the hill and they were just not coming
Hmm.
out the way that they should. We tried to take them out in sections 2 or 3, and as soon as you started working them, they just started breaking. So yeah, instead of hoping that we can save half of them or whatever it is, let's just get what we need to replace it, and then if we have some that we can save, then we have a surplus for anything in the future.
So the, cost for the 30 of them from American Concrete's right around $6,800. And then additionally, if you wanna discuss, selling any of the 50 that we have, I think we should keep, some supposedly to go to Bernard. So I know you had suggested keeping 10 and 12, but whatever number you're all comfortable with keeping. I don't know if you want 50 of them, or if you want to.
Yeah, the only things that I was telling Jesse before was, if the pavement keeps getting eaten up at the top, and someday that we raise the parking area, we might wanna expand on how far those go up. So, and then obviously a handful for damaged ones. They don't usually get too damaged unless something gets dropped on them or they get undermined, so.
That pavement goes down quite a ways now though, and I
does.
prefer the pavement over seems like it.
Yeah, I don't really have a preference, I'm just saying, that's
Yep.
just a thought, that if we
Yeah.
wanted to keep any for.
Oh, I think you should keep a lot of cause I don't know how many planks there are down below, but,
There's a lot there,
Yeah, they go
Yeah,
long.
there's a lot.
they're what, 3 wide?
yeah.
How wide's that, Matt, 40 or no, 36? If they're
Still
12
Yeah,
rows.
no, it's there, cause I can get an 18-foot wide boat barely between the two floats. They're
It's 20
each-
between there
Yeah,
and 8 and 8, so yeah,
Yeah.
36, 3 wide.
so 3 wide, it wouldn't take,
Yeah.
10 rows. That would be, you could eat up 30 of those pretty quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, just
Yeah.
don't get rid of them all.
Yep.
Those ones were probably less expensive than the new ones with the stainless in them, so.
Yep. Yeah, obviously, we have to get the new ones, so that's a given, but, the other ones, do you think we should get rid of any of them, or just, I mean, they probably cost us half the price of what these ones are, so, do you think, Eric? They're
I
steel
don't think that-
brackets, so that's,
Right.
the only thing that's gonna go bad is the steel brackets.
Galvanized.
Yeah, versus stainless, the
Yeah,
new ones
yeah.
are stainless, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't even think they're galvanized.
no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, I just keep some for repairs
Yep.
and then
How much space are they taking?
no one notices the space, they're
Yeah.
out behind the
Yeah.
building, so.
Yeah, so I figured.
Yeah.
Keep them or sell them. I don't know if you're gonna make enough off of them to really make it worth even selling them,
Yep.
cause they're pretty specific to whoever would want 12-foot wide
Yeah.
steel brackets and, you know,
Yep.
they're gonna chop you up in the price, so.
I'm not gonna say much more, cause if they go for bid, I might be interested.
Yeah, there you go. I'll install them for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever you guys think we should keep or.
Yeah, maybe if we get rid of, I don't even know how much it would bring in, but if we get rid of 20 of them, that way we hit 30, that would give us 10 rows of 3.
Yep. Plenty to do repairs and
Yep.
if you ever wanted to go longer in either direction, you can do that.
Yep. Yeah, so just put up 20 for surplus sale.
What, so what are they, the 300 something bucks a piece, the new ones?
Yep.
What kind of price are you just gonna try to auction them or?
Just put an auction on them, that's how we do everything else. These ones aren't, what are they? Be 68, hang on a second.
30, no, 240, 220.
Is there an even 30? Yeah. Yeah, they're only 226 for new ones,
Yeah.
so you're only gonna get $100 if you're lucky for each one.
Yeah, not by auction, you're gonna get $100 for all of them.
Yeah.
There you go, you're just giving them away is what
Yeah.
you're doing, so, yeah, I don't know, definitely keep some at that rate. if you're-
Yep. Alright, so we said yes on the new ones, and then to sell 20, surplus sale. Is that correct?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Motion to authorize the purchase of 30 concrete ramp pads from American Concrete at the cost of $6,800, utilizing the Seal Cove Fund for the expense.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to authorize the purchase of 30 concrete ramp panels from American Concrete at a cost of $6,800, utilizing the Seal Cove Fund for expense. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Motion to authorize the town manager to advertise, 20, right?
Yeah.
20 for sale, 20 concrete ramp pads for sale, or either surplus sale or at a fixed cost per panel. I guess just surplus sale.
Isn't that what we usually do everything, Jesse?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
surplus, okay. Yeah, I'd just do just a surplus sale.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to advertise 20 of the concrete boat ramp panels that we have, for sale by surplus sale. Sound good?
Good.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Alright, now we are on to, snow plow and sander. And the truck is still in Bangor, correct? Yeah, this is for our new truck.
So they hadn't started putting the body on it or anything?
Yeah.
They did,
It's all
that's
done.
what I thought,
Yeah.
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 So now they want us to take it back off?
No, so when you got it, when you decided to purchase it, you had the discussion of whether or not we were gonna get a new plow and sander for it. And the decision was made not to, because we were most likely going to use the final sander for truck 9. As it now turns out, finally, both trucks 3 and 9 were returned and are currently functioning.
Knock on wood.
knock
Yeah.
on wood,
Yeah.
for the winter. So the plow crew asked, well, can we get a final sander for the new truck, so all 3 are equipped and ready, so we don't have to switch them in the storm? If one of them, stops working, we wanna take this one. So I told them I would bring it back to your attention since the situation has shifted. The one we were gonna use can be used on the old truck. So I told them I would bring it to you for discussion.
What was the price on the plow? I didn't see it, it's not in the packet here, but.
Yeah, so he just sent me the price this afternoon. The plow came in at $9,300.
Yep.
And I did get the price on the electric sander. 8 foot is 8,000, 9 foot is 9,000. And in your packet is the hydraulic at 10,000. The truck was equipped for hydraulic because that's what truck 9 has on it.
The 93, is that installed?
Yes,
And for the sander as well?
yes.
And that was for, you said 10 foot, was it stainless plow?
The plow,
Yeah.
yes, I understand.
So truck 9 is fixed and.
They're all working right now, Eric,
They're
for
all
5
working right
seconds.
now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, we
Yeah.
just put money into putting this bed and everything on this new one because we were thinking that we were gonna get rid of one of the old ones, but now we have a new one that's ready to go now for this winter, so let's run it this winter
Mm.
and let the old truck just be out there ready in case something really breaks on one of the other ones, then swap over. I don't know, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
I don't wanna
sense.
spend the money to take it all back apart when we just spend it to put it all
Right.
together. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. And-
Oh, no, I think
Yeah.
that, well, you wouldn't take anything back apart anyway. It's just a dump body on it. You've
Well,
gotta
yeah,
put
either way.
a sander in the back, but I think that, they'll probably use the 550s more
I would
than
think.
the big truck if we just have light storms like we did last year anyway. I don't think I think they'll use it. And I think an extra plow, I've said that for a while. I'm surprised that we haven't budgeted for a spare plow, just because you know how plows break in the middle of a storm and they're all interchangeable, so hook into it with another truck and go. But sanders are kinda out of my thing. I was hoping Howdy would be here, cause, I know you'd mentioned wanting a hydraulic one, which is fine with me, but, I think it makes it so they're not interchangeable with the other trucks, right? Cause I think a lot of
One
the.
truck has hydraulic, one truck has.
One has electric, okay, and I don't know enough about,
Well, the
And so the new one is
hydraulics are
equipped.
more trouble, less trouble, I guess, aren't they?
yeah,
Less-
yeah, I
yeah,
think so,
I mean,
yeah. But then you
general-
have more hoses and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I can see it's probably more durable than an electric one.
I think I'd rather go with the hydraulic.
Yeah, I would too.
So all the plows now would be interchangeable, all same push plates on
Yep.
all of them?
They're all Fishers, so the only thing you couldn't do is take this 10-footer and put it on that 250 that we have, you know, it buried the town truck, I always call it Harbor Master's truck, but it's the one that Justin used to down the dock and stuff.
Yeah.
What, truck 9, what's on that? There's no bed or anything on there, or there is a dump body on there?
There.
Oh yeah, there's a dump body on that, there's a dump body, all of them have dump bodies now, with sanders, each one has a sander,
Except the new one.
except for the new truck, yep. And the big truck that we sent out, they took the body off and put that stainless sander on, the big International, that looks that came out really nice. They put chassis saver to the frame of it and we saved a pile of money from a new one.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, we just bought a truck, so.
Yeah.
Maybe wait on a sander and have truck 9 just have some cement blocks in the back for weight or whatever it needs, if it needs it, and
Yeah, I just don't think they'll use it if it doesn't have a sander ready to go, and it takes a while to put hydraulic sanders on.
Well, right, but then you got all these other trucks with sanders that are ready to go.
Yeah,
It'd save us
yeah. I know, I just,
$10,500.
we just saved about 225,000 by refurbishing that other truck that we had the money set aside for, so,
I think I'd put the sander in it, have it all set to go.
All right,
The
guys.
thing that
Whatever
makes
you
it
wanna
hard
do.
to know with the two older trucks, 3 and 9, being different,
mhm.
electric and hydraulic. If, for instance, truck 3 with the electric dies, then we have one sander.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
we can't
Yeah.
put that sander in either of the other 2 trucks, cause that's the only truck that runs electric. I mean, you equip it on
Yeah.
it, but in the middle of a storm, you can't utilize the electric.
Well, you sold me right there.
So-
Dustin.
Yeah.
Keith,
Good argument.
do you guys have experience with sanders?
I rely on how he's well.
Yeah. Cause he has just a gas, one of the, gas motor, but that's more of like a, residential, yeah, than it is a. I know, I think the hydraulic's probably gonna be way more durable, and the price difference is nothing really at all,
Yeah.
so.
Make a motion to authorize purchasing $19,700, of plow, sander and plow, using the truck reserve for expense.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize purchasing, plow and sander at an expense of up to $19,700 using the truck reserve for that expense. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have a consent agreement.
So you had previously, signed the consent agreement, that the code officer sent you regarding 54 Clark Point Road. All the conditions of the consent agreement have been met, and the code officer has requested, have you sign the letter, since you signed the consent agreement.
Mhm.
Letting the homeowner know that everything's been met, consent agreement's been fulfilled, and all cease and desist orders are.
Sounds good.
I make a motion to approve and sign the letter regarding consent agreement between the town of Tremont and P. Joy and Peter J. Catrone being fulfilled.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, a motion to approve and sign the letter regarding a consent agreement between the town of Tremont and P. Joy and Peter J. Catrone being fulfilled. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have select board meeting schedule.
So the
Good hour.
proposed schedule's in your packet, everything for the most part is the usual schedule. I pointed out in your memo, February 10th, this meeting was moved back 1 week due to a scheduling conflict I have on the 3rd, which also bumps the second meeting out of the school vacation week, which could be helpful anyways.
Yep.
And March 10th and 24th, these would be the special meetings to consider the budget and annual town meeting warrant. Town election, town meeting are tentatively scheduled for the dates, the second week in May, with election being Monday, May 12th, and town meeting Tuesday, May 13th. And August 12th, this past year, you only had one meeting in August, to give everyone a summer break. So I have to, again, schedule one August meeting unless you have it to.
I thought we did a July, only one meeting too, but
The year before.
here,
This year.
well, that's kinda nice if we did one during July. That'd be a nice, I mean, We have every week during March. We'll probably end up adding one in there. We always end up adding one in too in like April and March for, budget season.
You can do what you want.
Would anybody else?
Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
Yours, Ken?
I like where you're going with that.
yeah, I think one in July would be just fine, the 7th.
Okay.
And then obviously if something comes up, we'll take it.
Okay.
But gives everybody a break after
Yeah, we're not
spring
that-
budget time and
we're not
everything else.
usually that busy
elections.
anyway,
Nah,
so.
we usually don't have much at all,
No, with town stuff anyway.
you know. Yeah. Well, we could add one in November if that made you happy.
No,
So-
I'm fine.
No, you're fine, okay, I was gonna say, I was just looking, there's one in November.
I make a motion to adopt the schedule for the select board's 2025 meetings, with the exception of removing the July 21st meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the schedule for the select board's 2025 meetings as amended with, the July 21st, meeting being taken out of that. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have the FY 26 budget annual town meeting timeline calendar.
It's just a update to your yearly planning meetings for the budget. No changes from usual, just updating the dates.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Motion to adopt the FY 26 budget preparation schedule as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the FY 26 budget prep schedule as presented. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have town office schedule.
So this year, Christmas falls on a Wednesday. Historically, we've closed, or closed early on Christmas Eve. Both Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas is very quiet typically down office. So I talked to the staff about what they want to request from the select board, around Christmas, and the consensus was everybody would like to be closed the day following Christmas, and it was fine to be open until 4 as usual on Christmas Eve. That's up to you.
You don't think noon time on Christmas Eve?
I think noontime on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
You wanna do both, that's fine with me.
Well, no, I just think that it's, I know around my household it gets hectic at afternoon time on Christmas
We
Eve,
didn't
so.
wanna be pushed.
You gotta cook,
Yeah.
man, you gotta cook.
Yeah, now I know. Yep. Yeah, I'd say noontime Christmas Eve and then the day after. Why can't Christmas just be on like a Friday? It's a lot easier that way, you get the whole weekend after.
Much easier.
Yep.
So you weren't willing to come in on Friday, though?
Yeah. we-
Okay.
I was surprised you didn't ask for a week off.
Yeah.
I was just kinda waiting.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks, please.
Yeah, can we get double pay too? while
Yeah,
we're-
double pay, yeah.
Don't tempt us.
Yeah.
Might snow.
I'm gonna have to get my chopping block out here pretty soon. You guys spending money. Motion to authorize the town office to be closed Thursday, December 26th, and close at noontime on Tuesday, December 24th.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town office be closed, starting noontime, December 24th through, and also be closed Thursday, December 26th. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next is electing municipal review committee board of directors.
I thought they all looked pretty qualified. The guy from Bangor had some really good ideas, so things he'd done.
That's fine with me.
I mean, he did some, looks like he did some fairly creative stuff. I guess my vote would be for him,
Okay.
if I could pronounce his name.
There you go.
I move to vote for Aaron Hutari, I guess, for the MRC Board of Directors.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to vote for Aaron Hutari for MRC Board of Directors. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, we are down already to town manager's report.
So, in the last, couple weeks, we had the annual snowplow driver meeting, meeting with Columbus Drive. GA, General Assistance, State Rep did a site visit, to make sure we were in compliance with everything. That went great. I did a site visit to Thurston's, they received that working waterfront grant from the state that the town has to administer on the state's behalf. So I went over and had a tour of the damage, the repairs, what they were anticipating. So I'd be familiar with the invoices as they sent them to us. Helped with the election setup and takedown, had a meeting with the ambulance service, met with the library board vice chair, worked on grant reporting, and met with the sustainability committee chair. Office staff clerk was busy with election prep, DMV reports, attended the de-escalation training, lien discharges, election setup and takedown, and running the election itself, and some training for the state's new dog registration site. Public Works checked the Fishway, worked on the XLS plow, removed garbage at Hillrest, replaced the culvert, a culvert on Rice Road, picked up brush on the Cape Road, removed an old pump from the sand shed lot, picked up truck 3 in Bangor, removed filing cabinets from the meeting room, assisted Tyler out at the Seal Cove ramp, did some ditching on Rice Road, had the water turned off at Hillrest, brought over some election supplies for us, cut some trees in the Bernard Road parking lot, helped with float removal, transient floats with the harbor master, brought in the digital message board for the winter. Trucks 3 and 9 got inspected. Truck 1 came back from Heartland with the sander on it. Switched out a broken wing on one of the XLS plows. Changed plow steel, changed the tires on 3 and 9 and the Bobcat for the winter. Picked up some free pedestrian signs from the DOT. They go in the crosswalks. You've seen it, it's on the project. They picked up some for us, and they picked up Southwest Harbor and Bar Harbors while they were up there. And fixed a hole and removed the barrel on Steamboat Wharf Road. Harbor Master was busy with wharf cleanup, trash and traps, hoist repairs, collecting wharf permits, Seal Cove cleanup, dealt with a boat that was adrift in the harbor, had the septic tank pumped out with new offices, extensive trash cleanup by the garage, worked on the Seal Cove ramp replacement with Eric, had a lot of phone calls regarding the delivery of the new harbor master building and the crane, and prepping the site, and building delivery, helping set it, jacket up and down, transient float removal, hoist repair, the relay, and building a set of stairs to the new office. And over the next few weeks, I
gotta say, I think that looks really nice down the harbor. That building just not too big, it's just the right size, makes it blends right in. It's elevated enough so you can see out over. It's pretty nice for what money we have in it. It looks very nice. And your father did a very good job with the groundwork. It looks nice. All right, suggestions for next meeting? Date of the next meeting?
Make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, December 2nd, 2024, at 5 o'clock at the town office.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, December 2nd, 2024, 5 PM at the town office. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor? Not long at all.
No, Marge was asking how long. I said, I bet it's before 6:30.